All right, Shalawam. I'm gonna get right into it. This is an article from IntelliHub. It says, while Obama snoozes, Russia prepares for nuclear war with U.S. And it came out September 11th, 2014. It says, did you know that the two Russian bombers practiced launching cruise missiles at the United States from a spot in the North Atlantic just the other day? So that's the title. So I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much love and prayers to you, ahchyam, that's doing the will of the Lord in sincerity and truth. Alright? It says, and did you know that Russia is spending massive amounts of money to build and test new nuclear weapon systems? Meanwhile, the Obama administration is doing absolutely nothing to upgrade the U.S. nuclear arsenal. It says our nuclear officers are actually still using floppy disks and other computer technology from the 1960s. Yeah, because you know them devils, they planning on bringing destruction upon their own selves. You know, so they don't give a damn about fixing up and upgrade what a nuclear they nuclear weapon system. You know. It says the new size of the U.S. nuclear arsenal has been reduced by about 95% from the peak of the Cold War. Right, that's when the Cold War was, when Russia was actually USSR. It says, and Barack Obama was spoken of even more dramatic reductions. Obama is snoozing even as a Russian general speaks of the need to spell out the conditions under which Russia would launch a preemptive nuclear strike against the United States. Obama appears to be entirely convinced that a nuclear war between the U.S. and Russia is not even a remote possibility. Now you know this devil, this fucking this Hamite Obama saying that to keep the people asleep, because that don't make no damn sense. Because if that's the case, if it's not a possibility of war with Russia, then why is they sanctioning Russia, man? They sanctioning Russia as we speak. I mean, as I speak now, man. You know, they got new sanctions that came out on Russia, man. Okay? So you know this Hamite Barack Obama lying, man.
The Russian targets and the latest EU sanctions, which have now come to light. The latest restrictions tighten the screw on 5 Russian state-owned banks already under sanctions. The length of the loans they now can get from Europe has been reduced to 30 days. Igor Piskunov explains who else is on the new hit list.
The new set of sanctions targets Russia's largest oil companies, including Rosneft, Gazpromneft, and Transneft. And from now on, they'll have more problems getting access to Western funds, since Western banks are being banned from giving them loans exceeding 30 days. These Russian energy companies will also have no access now to Western deep-water oil exploration technologies, which could affect a lot of important projects, including the ones in the Arctic. Western companies are also being banned from exporting so-called dual-use technologies. That doesn't only affect the energy sector, but companies like the Kalashnikov arms producer as well. We also know that 24 more Russian citizens have been added onto the Western blacklists. Now, this is the European Union set of sanctions. We're also waiting for the United States to announce its set of sanctions later on Friday, and it is expected that they will target Russia's largest state banks. Now, the timing of these sanctions has been raising a lot of questions, since the main argument that we're hearing from Western officials is that they're supposed to force Moscow change its policies on Ukraine. But currently there's a ceasefire going on in southeastern Ukraine, which Moscow has been actively promoting. And also the other thing is that Russia will now have to wait for Russia's reaction, since many officials here have been warning there will be one in case a new set of anti-Russian sanctions takes place.
Well, the 3 energy giants sanctioned by the EU on Friday account for the lion's share of the production and handling of crude oil in Russia. Rosneft isn't only the country's #1 oil producer, it's also one of the biggest in the world and is worth an estimated $60 billion. Gazpromneft is the 4th largest producer of oil in Russia and is said to be worth some $10 billion, while Transneft, which transports most of Russia's oil, is the biggest mover of the crude in the entire world.
All right? It says, he better be right, because we are definitely not prepared for one. It says, even with everything that has happened between the United States and Russia lately, most Americans still believe that the Cold War is over. Yeah, because those sanctions is going on back and forth. It says, and that Russia presents absolutely no threat to U.S. And that's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. They actually being the bully as they are unto America, man. They flying, we're going to get into that. It says, but Russia is behaving as if the Cold War is still very much on. You damn right, because Vladimir Putin, you know, he ain't playing with America, man. Them Edomites out there in Russia, they ain't like these American faggots, these American Edomites. They all devils, you know. But he ain't playing with America, man. And it's prophesied that in the scriptures that Russia are going to shoot nukes on America and destroy America, man. You know. The Lord is in the mines, man. The Lord is stirring up this beef. Okay? It says, but Russia is behaving as if the Cold War is still very much on. You probably didn't hear a peep about it from the mainstream media, but just the other day, a couple of Russian bombers stimulated launching cruise missiles at U.S. from the North Atlantic. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You know, they bullying America, man. Here they on they stimulating launching cruise missiles at the U.S. from the North Atlantic, man, coming into U.S. territory, man. All right. There's 2 Russian strategic bombers conducted practice cruise missiles attacks on the United States during a training mission last week that defense officials say appeared timed to the NATO summit in Wales. Okay, yeah, because you know NATO is out there in eastern Ukraine, man. Okay, it says the Russian Tu-95 Bear bombers were tracked following a route across the northern Atlantic near Iceland, Greenland, and Canada's northeast. Okay, it says analysts of the flight indicated the aircraft were conducting practice runs to a predetermined launch box, an optimum point for firing nuclear-armed cruise missiles at U.S. targets, said defense official familiar with intelligence reports. So yeah, man, here they are attempting to doing practice missiles on America, man. You know, practicing those targets, man. Seeing how far they can go. Making sure that their missiles are hit. Making sure, you know what I'm saying, everything is precise, man. Everything is on point. Man, what Obama doing? Nothing. But that's all the will of the Lord, man. Okay? Right. It says, and Russia is spending money as if a nuclear confrontation with the U.S. is a very real possibility. In fact, Russian President Vladimir Putin has committed to a weapons modernization program that is going to cost the equivalent of $540 billion. So Putin ain't playing, man. And going back up right here, it says, Slovakia, it says, but Russia is behaving as if the Cold War is very much on. And back when the Cold War, they was called USSR, man. They was more aggressive, you know. They always been bullies of America, but the Lord is what? Putting hooks back in their jaws, man. So, you know, this is Ezekiel chapter 38. I'm going to start at verse 3. And say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, which is Russia, and chief prince of Meshach and Slakia, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, man. So, yeah, man, Vladimir Putin, he's not playing, man. He's not playing, man. Because the Lord is prepping their mind and getting them back, man, to where they used to be, man. All them damn missiles and nukes they got over there, man. They actually more advanced than they ever was before, man. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. Yeah, he bringing them forth now. Okay, he put hooks in their jaws and he's bringing them forth. It says, in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. And Russia got all sorts of armor, man. If you go look up their weapons, it's fucking crazy, yo. It says, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Okay, so Vladimir Putin has committed to a weapon modernization program that is going to cost the equivalent of $540 billion, man. Showing you he's putting all that into his bunkers and shields, man. It says Putin said Russia's weapons modernization program for 2016 and 2025 should focus on building a new array of offensive weapons to provide a guaranteed nuclear deterrent, re-aiming strategic and long-range aviation, creating an aerospace defense system, and developing high-precision confrontational weapons, man. It says he would not elaborate on prospective weapons, but he and other officials have repeatedly boasted about new Russian nuclear missiles, capability to penetrate any prospective missile shield. It says, the Kremlin has bolstered defense spending in the past few years under an ambitious weapons modernization program that runs through 2020 and costs the equivalent of $540 billion. All right, it says you don't spend that kind of money just for the fun of it. You're damn right you don't. It says Putin is deadly serious about being able to fight and win a war against the United States. Okay, and hold on, going to this article. This is more of a the rest of the article and shit. All right, bear with me. Okay, bear with me. All right. It says Putin is deadly serious about being able to fight and win a war against the United States. It says, of course, nobody is either side. It says, of course, nobody on either side actually hopes that such a war will happen. You crazy, yo. We the brothers in this truth, man. The elect men, want this war to go down, man, because we know what's after it. All right. It says, but most wars are won before a single shot is fired. So you damn right. He right. It says most wars are won before a single shot is fired. And guess what? The Most High, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, has already won the war, man. Yahawashi said in Isaiah he already broke the scepter of the ruler, man. Okay? He said, Salaki, let me grab the scripture real quick. He said, this is 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and verse 13. Go and you shall receive faithful few days unto you, that day may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. So the Lord said that the kingdom is already prepared, man. Okay? Because why? Like this guy said in this article, it says, but most wars are won before a single shot is fired. Okay? So that's how Putin is trying to come at this whole situation with America. Alright? Because he knows he's preparing for war. The Lord putting hooks back in his jaws for them to turn back into that aggressive USSR, man. And here's another scripture. Go back into this. This is Joel, chapter 2, verse 9. Proclaim ye, right? Because look, because why I'm pulling the scriptures, because the Lord is already prepared, man. The Lord has already won the war already. Okay, so it says, but most wars are won before a single shot is fired. So this war, World War III, is already won through the Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It says, proclaim you this among the Gentiles, prepare war. See? It says, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. So, the Lord's World War III, it's not going to be just against Russia versus America. It's going to be a world war. Okay? Because NATO's involved. Those are the American allies. China is aligned with Russia. Iran is with Russia and China. It says, beat your plowshares. Salakia. It says, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Isn't Putin doing that, man? Putin is investing in 500 and, what was it, Salakia? what was that number? $540 billion into what? Into his new weapons modernization program. Okay? It says, and you're pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen. And they heathen, man. They not Israelites, they heathen. It says, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Because the Lord is going to come with those chariots, man, in the midst of this World War III. Okay? The Lord is going to devour them. He's going to make them utterly destruction, right? It says, verse 12, let the heathen be weakened. It's like let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And which is that? That's Yahawah Bahasham. Okay? For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Because the Lord ain't playing with these devils, man. He ain't playing with these other nations, man. He ain't playing in this war. The Lord ain't trying to go 12 rounds like Floyd Mayweather, man. The Lord want to gather these nations up. The Lord want to put these devils all into one pot, and he want to wring their ass out, man. Okay? He want to wring their ass out like you do with a rag, man. He want to put them in the oven and burn the shit out of them, man. He ain't got time for that, because the elect, when the elect get sealed and be up in those chariots, man, when the Yahawah give brothers his rank, give brothers their orders and so forth, brothers gonna come down with those new bodies, man. Like John said, he has seen heaven down upon earth. So let me grab it. I don't want to quote it wrong. Lock it. Okay. All right. It says this is because John said, you know, he saw a new heaven, man. Okay. This is Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Okay? Because when the elect get out those ships, man, Lord willing, I'll be the elect, and brothers out there that's doing the will, you know, and keeping the laws and the faith, man, is that if we part of the elect, we'll be coming down out of those ships, and we'll be what? Going to get these heathens, man, up out of the rocks and shit, man. Up out of these lands, man. Okay? So the Lord is want to gather these nations up and put them into a pot. So jumping back into Joel, this is Joel chapter 3, and we start at 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all you heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thou mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge the heathen round about. And it says, put you in a sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, and the fats overflow, and their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision, man. Okay? So let's get back to the article. It says, of course, nobody on either side is actually hopes that such a war will happen, but most wars are won before a single shot is fired. And right now, Russia is working very hard to make sure that it will have the best chance possible of coming out on top of any future conflict, man. Yeah, and a future conflict, what he talking about, where he said, and right now, Russia is working very hard to make sure that it will have the best chance possible to come out on top of any future conflict. Man, the future conflict is their destruction, man. Ain't none of them, these devils coming out on top. And it's the second Esdras chapter 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. Yeah, because when Jacob and Esau was coming out, Esau came out first, red and hairy, which is the Edomites, which is Russia and America, man. Which is all these the so-called white men. And guess what? When it said that Esau came out first, Jacob came out second, holding the hill to Esau. That was a prophecy to be fulfilled, man. That's gonna happen. That needs to be fulfilled in these latter days, man. When the Lord destroyed them, man. Okay. That was a future prophecy of letting you know that Jacob was going to pull Esau out of power, man. Alright? It says, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world. Right now, Esau is ruling the world. You know, you got mother, what they call Mother Russia, wherever you say the shit. Russia over there, they the big brothers up to the country, to the other nations over there. They the power country on the eastern part of the world, and who's the power country on the west, America. And those both Edomite kingdoms, man. Okay? It says, for Esau, which is so-called white man, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. So what the hell with Putin talking about, when he thinking that he got this in the bag, and got America, he's going to destroy America, and he's going to come out in the end, he in a trick bag. China's in a trick bag. All of that, man. All of them, okay? It says, for example, Russia's media is reporting that 60% of all Russian nuclear missiles will have radar invading capability by 2016. And that's around the corner, man. Lord willing, it'd be before then, man. It'd be before that, yo. It'd be before then, because we went in 2014. Ain't trying to think about 2016, man. It says Russia's defense ministry plans to complete the rearmament of strategic missile forces within 6 years, by 2016. The share of new missile systems will reach nearly 60%, and by 2021 their share will increase to 98%. At the same time, the troop and weapon command system combat equipment will be qualitatively improved. First of all, their capabilities for the suppression of anti-missile defense will be built up. Defense ministries, oh, that's it. Alright, let me see. It says, but the greatest concern is the new generation of nuclear power attack submarines aimed with long-range cruise missiles that Russia has been developing. Now, they got submarines, man, that got nuclear capability on them, man, that could get close to United States seaboard, man, to the borders. And they don't have to shoot it from across the earth, man.
Forces into Ukraine. In another development, the Russian Navy test-launched a new intercontinental ballistic missile. It's capable of holding up to 10 nuclear warheads. In Moscow, President Vladimir Putin spoke to a Kremlin gathering and said the test is a response to NATO expansion in Eastern Europe.
We have said many times that we will have to take corresponding countermeasures to ensure our security, so we very much would like to avoid hearing hysterics later when final decisions are made and start to be implemented.
Development of the missile has been delayed by a number of failed tests.
Okay, it says, just this week, Russia conducted a successful test of a new submarine launched Bolivia intercontinental nuclear missile. It says Russia carried out a successful test of its new Bolivia intercontinental nuclear missile on Wednesday and will perform 2 more test launches in October and November and head. Alright. I'm gonna read this whole thing. It's important stuff. Okay, here we go. Each one of these missiles weigh more than 36 tons and has a range of more than 5,000 miles. But in a future conflict, they will likely only have to travel a short distance. That is because Russia have developed super silent attack subs that are virtually undetectable when submerged. Okay, it says, did you know that Russia is building submarines that are so quiet that the U.S. military cannot detect them? These black hole submarines can freely approach the coastlines of the United States without fear of being detected whenever they want. In fact, a nuclear power attack submarine aimed with long-range cruise missiles sailed around in the Gulf of Mexico for several weeks without being detected back in 2012.
The Boré-class submarines have a draft of 10 meters and measure 170 meters long. They are designed to dive to depths of 480 meters. The Boré-class has 6 torpedo tubes and can carry 16 to 20 Bulava intercontinental ballistic missiles. The Bulava is a 3-stage solid propellant and liquid fuel missile with a range of more than 9,000 kilometers. The Bulava can carry 6 warheads and up to 4 more decoys. Each warhead has an estimated yield of 150 kilotons, several times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb.
Man, man, America's destroyed. It says, and now Russia is launching a new class of subs that have advanced stealth technology. The U.S. Navy openly acknowledges that they cannot track these subs when they are submerged. That means that Russia are able to sail right up to our coastlines and launch nukes whenever they want. It says, most Americans don't realize this, but Russia subs can come cruising right up to our coast without us knowing about it and launch missiles, which will start hitting our cities within just a few minutes. But with that, man, I hope brothers was edified. You know, this is another article. You know, just seeing, you know, this is major, man. I'm gonna try to, you know, stay focused, Lord willing, have the spirit, just stay focused. You know, always keeping an eye on this Russia against America, man, because this is where it's at, man. This is where this war jump off, Russia versus America, NATO, and all, World War III, man. That means we almost the fuck up out of here, man. I hope this comes real fast. I hope it comes real soon, man. Like the scripture say, it tarries, but wait for it, you know. And pray as well as watch. And Lord willing, man, this shit come through, man. You know what I'm saying? It come through real soon. I have to wait another year or two, but you know, you gotta have the patience and the faith, man. But I pray that this shit come on, man. I pray that it come quickly, man. Come tomorrow, man. That it came yesterday. But with that, I want to give all honors, praise, and glory to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and much love and prayers to the ahchyam that's doing the will of the Lord in sincerity and truth. Shalawam.